Today we're going to start looking at the modulus of a complex number. Now, what is the modulus? When you hear the modulus, all it means is the distance from the origin to the complex number. So if you look at this graph here, I have the complex number here, which is 12 plus 15i. And then if I drew in this line just to show what we're talking about. What we're talking about when we're talking about the modulus of this number is the distance from here to here. So it's the same as getting the length of this line. Now we could use our distance formula, but it's easier than just using the distance formula because this point here is 0, 0. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're told if z, that's a complex number, is a plus bi, complex number, and then I squared equals minus 1, that's just the rule of what a complex number is, then z, the modulus of z, okay, that's the way you read it, the modulus of z is equal to the modulus of a plus bi, which is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. What does that mean? It means you square the real number plus you square the complex number or the imaginary number without the I, just the number. You add them together and then you get the square root of it. Let's look at an example. So z1 is equal to 12 plus 16i, z2 is equal to minus 12 plus 5i. Find the modulus of z1, the modulus of z2, the modulus of z1 plus z2, and hence show that the modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than the modulus of z1 plus the modulus of z2. Okay, let's take it one at a time. So the first part is the modulus of z1. So if we look at the modulus of z1, so z1 is 12 plus 16i. So the modulus of z1 is the square root of the real number squared plus the number of the imaginary part squared. So that's going to be 12 squared plus 16 squared, and the square root of the whole lot. I just put that into the calculator exactly as it's written, and I get 20. What does that mean? It means the distance from the origin to that complex number is 20. Then, if I look at z2, z2 is minus 12 plus 5i. The modulus of z2 is the square root of minus 12 squared plus 5 squared. Straight into the calculator, 13. The modulus of z1 plus z2, so that means I have to add z1 and z2, then get the modulus, okay? So these are like brackets. You do inside the brackets first, and then you do the brackets. So I have to add 12 plus 16i minus 12 plus 5i. So 12 minus 12 is 0, that's gone. Then I have plus 16i plus 5i, so 16 and 5 is 21, so I get plus 21i. I have to get the modulus of 21i. That is the square root of 21 squared. Into your calculator, tells you that it's 21. Now the next part asks you to show that the modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than the modulus of z1 plus z2. What we're looking at here is we want to see that the difference between you add them and get the modulus, or you get the modulus and then add them. So this is done already for us. So we just write out the question. Then we know that the modulus of z1 plus z2 is 21. So we put that in. Copy down our less than sign. The modulus of z1 was 20, so I write that down here, plus the modulus of z2, which is here, is 13, and I write that down, and 21 is less than 33, which is exactly what we've seen. Okay, so for today, the work will be to just practice those, just using the modulus, and then we'll move on to the other questions about them. As you know, any questions or issues you have, you send me a message, you write a note under the post on Edmodo, or email me, whatever, just to let me know. Okay, talk to you tomorrow.